Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Couch Co-op. We are here again talking about the gaming news and everything about it.
Howdy.
I'm here with my buddy Cruz as usual. Let's just jump into it. We got a Nintendo Direct that just happened a day or two ago, and I'm kind of excited about it.
Yes, I am. Yes, you are.
Yes,
hopefully.
Mm-hmm. First up is a really big one I didn't expect to see. Super Mario RPG.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, it's there. It's out. It's coming. It's happening.
People lost their shit because the character Gino, that puppet dude who has like the blue like wizard cape and hat, people have been demanding that boy to be in Smash Brothers for fucking years, and they thought it was because he was in legal hell because even though it was a Nintendo game, Square Enix made the character. So you know what I mean? It's like that whole legal dispute, like who actually owns him,
right?
But whatever was going on behind the scenes probably got cleared up, and not only you're getting the game, it's a full-on remake. It's a 1-to-1 remake where in the SNES days it looked like it was like a pre-rendered graphics. Here, how would you interpret pre-rendered graphics to remake it? Make it like pseudo claymation, so that's why all the characters look like, you know, claymation, like
right
Nightmare Before Christmas or something like that, which is a really good aesthetic choice.
Yeah,
everybody has their proportions from the SNES game still. And it's just modernized, and it's great because
definitely. I wonder what new aspects they're going to add to it, because I've never played Super Mario RPG, but I gotta imagine that's a fairly decently long game.
I don't know. It was a very good gateway RPG, letting people into the world of RPG who have never been like huge into it.
Right.
There is a Final Fantasy secret boss in the game,
right,
at the time, and I think it was from Final Fantasy 6 or 4. Don't know who or which one. But with that said, maybe they'll add a more modern Final Fantasy boss, or if they'll keep it traditional, they'll keep that secret boss in there. Still, it's a huge deal to see that remake coming out, and it's coming out this fall.
Yeah, based on what I'm looking up, it's like 25 and a half hours if you just coast through it. That's pretty good for an old school RPG game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. That's be awesome. I can't wait to see more from the game. I'm curious to see what they'll do with it when it finally comes out. But we have other games to talk about.
Yes.
I know some people are really excited about, and that is Super Mario Wonder. How do you feel about that?
Yo, so it's been rumored as well since the movie came out, the Mario movie came out, that there was a 2D Mario in the works, and everybody was just dreading like, oh man, it's gonna be another new Super Mario Brothers game, and that's the aesthetic of like the one on DS, the one on Wii, 3DS and Wii U.
Right.
And the games are fine, but just people got tired of the aesthetics because they just kept reusing them. The games were fine, again, but we just got tired of the art style.
Right.
They ended the Direct with this game, and the art style was just nuts. It was like Alice in Wonderland, trippy LSD kind of like visuals, and Mario himself looked like crayon or color pencil. That's like the vibe I got from it.
Right.
And you got like right off the bat, you got Peach, Toad, and Daisy, all playable characters along with them. 4-player co-op, like the older game, like the other new Super Mario Brothers game.
Right.
Just it fucking works. Just oof, dude. It just nothing sells me more than when a game like that has like a good eye-catching aesthetic.
Right. Right. Yeah, it looked really interesting. I'm finally glad to see they're doing something different rather than, you know, what we've seen over the past few years. I think the last time Mario was like super innovative was Super Mario Maker, because that was just using all the assets back then.
For 2D, right? Because I'm pretty. If you
for 2D, not 3D. Mind you. Yeah, sorry I didn't clarify that. But yeah, I mean that was the last big like wow from Mario that I saw that wasn't 3D related in Odyssey.
Yeah, that's that's fair. 2D. I mean not 2D. Maker was the last bit of creativity because that's where you got all the everybody at home can show what you can do.
Right.
So with this new fucking aesthetic, let's see what they've learned from their time taking a break and making everybody make their levels for them.
I wonder how far they're going to take their world warping, I guess you would call it, with all the Wonder Flowers and everything. I'm telling you, it's like they're on drugs. Right. They probably are. They're probably, dang, what can we do again at this point in time? We've made like every Mario game possible. I'm just waiting for if you think about it, Mario's been in like almost every other genre, except with the exception of maybe, I get. Would you call it the tactical game an art or a real time strategy game?
Yeah, they've done one.
I can see that.
He's done everything. There's nothing he hasn't done at this point.
I wonder at just like what point are they just going to be like, you know what? I think we should just put Mario down for like a good 10 years.
Never.
Yeah.
But like that. If Sony can't put down, let's just say Kratos or even Ratchet and Clank.
But to be fair, Kratos has been down for a minute. before God of War 2018 came out.
I mean, you still had smaller games still, like Ascension and stuff came out. It wasn't as good, but they were still at least a God of War game every few years.
Yeah.
God of War for them was like their Zelda, and Ratchet and Clank is their platformer.
Yeah, they'll never stop touching Ratchet and Clank. The moment they sold those games on PS4 and they were doing good, they were like, yeah, we're going to need more of those. But it looks great, though. One of the best looking games PS4 could ever run. Mm-hmm. And PS5 as well. I got no complaint about that. Next up, though, is not a Nintendo-only title, as far as I know. And that's Metal Gear Solid, the Master Collection.
Yes. So
Volume 1, mind you.
So PlayStation 1, who broke the news that this was coming to just modern platforms in general. Nintendo showed off the gameplay. It is 1, 2, and 3. 2 and 3 are specifically from the original HD collection that came out in the PS360 days. 1 never got a re-release because it was bundled with a download code for the PS3 version to just download the PS1 game. So this is the first time 1 has appeared on anything besides a PS1. And I could be wrong. I think there was a PC port on GOG. I forgot. I think Good Old Games. I think that's what GOG stands for.
Right.
But yeah, like this is insane. And not only that, you're also getting the MSX games and the 2 NES games that Kojima had nothing to do with. So it's getting a physical. Pretty excited for that, and it's just crazy. And recently too, Volume 2 might have already been leaked, and it's rumored to have Metal Gear Solid 4, Peace Walker, and I think Acid.
Maybe, yeah.
If it wasn't Acid, it's the Portable Ops.
Yeah, because Metal Gear Solid, what, 4 was it? That was been stuck on PS3 for like ever?
Yeah, and then but recently too, they said that they had a working 360 port of Metal Gear Solid. The only downside, the reason Konami and the whole Kojima team never went through with the 360 port, it was supposed to come on 360 discs. So they said too expensive, and they just didn't drop. They dropped it. But if they still have that 360 port, they can just use that as the baseline to bring it forward.
They can just let me port it over to a bigger disc because technology's come way farther than what it was in 360 days. The only game that I've ever even seen being 3 discs was Final Fantasy 13, and that game was pretty long. So can't imagine how big that game would be in that one. Yeah, that's definitely awesome. It's funny that PlayStation announced it before it came out to, the Nintendo Direct. That's kind of a dick move, but
Sony needed something. It's more of like, okay, thanks for the logo, and it's Nintendo's like, here's what's coming exactly in this, because they showed off the menus, they showed off that you're also getting some graphic novels. It's crazy, like, cool. It was cool for Sony telling us that's a thing, right? But showing what's actually in the Master Collection, what kind of content in it, I think is a better win than just showing a logo.
Yeah, it's interesting because I'm very curious if this is just their answer, just the Metal Gear like craving people have been having. Because let's be honest, like that Metal Gear Survive shit was trash, and I don't even, if someone's still playing that game, bravo to you, because it's impossible. I doubt anyone would be doing that. But where's the new Metal Gear at?
Well, you can't really do one without Kojima. So honestly, though, I think this is fine. Konami has been slowly making a comeback with wanting to get their foot back into the gaming medium as a whole, outside of pachinko machines. Right. Because they way back then, the Castlevania Classic Collection, the Contra Collection, their arcade collection, the GBA Castlevania Collection. Now we got Metal Gear. We know they're doing a Silent Hill 2 remake, and they're also doing an HD collection for Suikoden 1 and 2. So nice. Little by little, they're coming back. I think their real test to show people that they care about the gaming industry again is we see how good that Silent Hill 2 remake is. Yeah, because the trailer that they showed us before looked pretty good. Look what you'd expect from a Silent Hill game. But whether the gameplay that would survive it, I just don't know. That they could easily screw it up any way along the way. I'm not concerned about the gameplay because it's being done, I think, by Bloomberg team or Blooper team. I forgot how their name is pronounced, but from what I understand, the reception from to the company by fans is they do really good games in gameplay form, but their stories suck. But since you have the Silent Hill 2 team handling the story hands-on, and all they're doing is making the engine, the assets for them to actually put the game to work, right? I think combining those two should make a good remake. Yeah, I mean, I hope that it's good. I hope the fans of the game who want that, it's going to be good for them. But it's just Konami, man. They're at that point where they just have to. We have to see to believe, and EA is the same way to a certain degree. We know EA can make good games. They just got to be a little less greedy about it. But we'll see. I hope to see that they make something great and just not bullshit the whole time. Because Metal Gear Survive was not a great taste in people's mouth, especially that whole buying save slots and shit. Yes. But story for another time. I know I said it pretty often.
But let's just jump into the next one because I'll get pretty mad just talking about it.
Oh yeah.
Luigi's Mansion Remaster is coming.
Yes, it is a HD port of Luigi's Mansion 2/Dark Moon. Mm-hmm. It was a 3DS game. It was Luigi's second game at the time, and now they're bringing it to Nintendo's Switch. They only showed a snippet of gameplay, and they specifically said we're gonna give this a nice HD polish, which is interesting because this is good. This is a sign of good things to come because that was a 3DS game. The 3DS eShop got shut down recently, and if they're bringing 3DS games forward, they probably found a way to not leave those games on that platform. So now you could see other games coming to the system, like Kid Icarus Uprising, Project X Zone, Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright.
Mm-hmm.
All those other 3DS games that are stuck on that platform, if Luigi's Mansion 2 does well, we could see more coming forward.
Oh, heck yeah. I'm curious. Remaster, of course, we know what Luigi's Mansion is all about.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. It's getting remaster and Switch. I think when Nintendo does remasters, it helps really well for them, especially like more than it would like somewhere like PS5 or Xbox One Series S, just because Nintendo's just like it's more satisfying for some reason to see it on Nintendo rather than those other consoles, because we know we have access to those other consoles games, but Nintendo's a little bit more different because of the way they handle their games.
Yes,
but yeah, I'm just glad to see them getting more games on. I just need a P3. I just need a Persona Q 1 and 2 remaster on Switch, and I can actually touch my Switch again. I'm trying, man. It's hard. But next game on our list is Princess Peach, the game. I don't think it's an official.
There is no title, man. All we know is that. So just again, I feel like this is the same thing when it comes to the Mario movie. Hype around Princess Peach from that movie, and the fact that it looks like she has her ponytail that she sported a lot in the movie.
Yeah,
I feel like this is what they're leaning towards, and it's not a bad thing. It's just like an observation. And I got not much to say, but this is her second game. She got one game on the DS, never got a chance to do anything else.
Right.
And the fact she's getting a mainline console game, it's like, all right, we're gonna see what they do. Yeah. It could be an RPG. It could be a side scroller.
It looks like a side scroller from what I'm looking at. It looks like a side scroller, but like in the form of a play of some kind.
That's what I'm saying. Like the last time they done something like that, at least in that aesthetic, was Paper Mario, and Paper Mario, is an RPG to an extent. So if they give her an RPG, I think I would like that better than a platformer. But we'll see.
Yeah, that would make more sense for this kind of game, especially the pace of it, because it doesn't look like you have much movement. So
exactly,
it's definitely interesting. Man, Mario on Switch is just insane how much like Mario stuff's there. But it's not a bad thing, that's for sure. Next game on our list might be a little bit more heavy to talk about. It's Star Ocean 2, the second story.
Yes, so the logo for this game got leaked like a couple hours before the direct. And they showed it off, and bruh. So like last year or maybe a year and a half ago now, the first game got remastered. It was nice. It was a polished up HD pixel game. This one though, they're doing what Octopath Traveler or like Triangle Strategy or Live Alive do, the HD 2D.
Yeah, I saw that.
And they kept the 2D, but the environment's all in like really crisp looking 3D. I was like, yo.
Right.
I think that's the next step they're gonna do with these HD 2D games.
Yeah, it looks great. I mean, the environments are like, they look like what you'd expect from a modern RPG, and then the little 3D/2D sprites are great. And I love the fact that when they talk, they're bringing up the character models too.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm just like, perfect. That's awesome.
From what I understand, the combat system is getting a revamp to make it faster, and this is from what I understand from the Star Ocean fans, this is the best game in the series. So we'll see how it does.
Yeah, I definitely want to try.
And letting people know it's getting physical. It's on Square Enix shop. You can get a collector's edition, but I know retailers are just getting standard editions of it. So
thank God. Yeah, I definitely want to pick this up. I won't play it on Switch. I hate to say it, but I'm not gonna play it on Switch. I'm gonna play it on PlayStation. Yeah, sorry. Maybe I'll play it on the dumbass, handheld stream thing. No, I can't do that.
Yeah, you were about to say, like, at that point, you might as well play it on the Switch.
The more I was saying it, the more I hated it. But yeah, I'll play it on thing. Maybe I'll get it for both. Who knows? But yeah, this mix of 2D and 3D is just straight genius. Like, it's crazy how far Japan goes with their JRPGs, and it's great to see this.
Team Asano, man. I don't know if Team Asano is actually doing it. They were the ones who helmed the charge for 2D HD 2D, but still, whoever's doing it, they're fucking killing it.
Yeah, it just looks like good. Like, I can't even, like, there's nothing to complain about. You have 2D, because you have 3D, like,
actual models,
3D environments with 2D sprites, which I'm assuming this is either 16 or 32-bit, and it just flows really well. Like, it looks great, and on top of that, to throw the nice art style of each character as they speak, and as
the portraits,
the visual novel style too. And on top of that, man. And I love the little details when JRPGs do this, but like when they make Tales is a great example of people who do that, where they make their mouth like move, but the rest of them are still just stagnant.
Yeah,
it's great, but it doesn't look weird at all, and it's fantastic to see this. I think the only other team that's been we're surpassed this is when Tales does their skits. The way they upgraded skits was amazing in that game. At first I hated it, but then I learned just to love it because it was just it looked too smooth between the gameplay and the actual game. But yeah. I feel like more JRPGs need more skits, just in general, just for storytelling and character building. But
you would love Xenoblade. You need to get on that because Xenoblade does exactly what you want.
I want to. I don't have time. Like I said, I don't have time. But I definitely want to, though. Especially I want to start with 1 and then 2, and we'll go from there. And then but this looks incredible. I can't wait to play it when it comes out. And thank God it's coming on multiple platforms, and it's available in November, which is not too far away. All right, next up is Dragon Quest Monsters.
Yes, so this is a series been long running. It started on Game Boy Color. It was it was originally called Dragon Warrior because that's what we called Dragon Quest before we just kept the Japanese name finally. It's Dragon Quest take on Pokemon. From what it looks like, they're doing what Pokemon Scarlet and Violet did and doing the whole open world thing with the monsters.
Yeah,
and I think this. From what I understand, the Dragon Quest monster games are really good. Like, they're actually better monster RPGs than Pokemon. So maybe this will catch the eyes of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet fans. And if this actually does gangbusters, we could see them like pushing Game Freak to do better, or at least to compete with the Dragon Quest monster team.
Yeah, it's funny, man. Like, every time I see Monster Quest or Dragon Quest of any kind, it just looks like Dragon Ball Z. Like,
I mean, Toriyama did the art, so
I get that, but I just hate how much. I just hate and love how similar it is because it just makes me want to go watch Dragon Ball. But it's just
you need to play the games though, dude. They're really fucking good RPGs.
Yeah, I want to get through
not just monsters, but just the whole franchise. They're really good.
I got Dragon Quest 11 on the Xbox Series X, and I've been dying to try it. And I've been itching for a good JRPG lately too. I'm getting a little tired of just the Western style RPGs and just
11's fucking good, dude.
Yeah, I hear. Like, man, I'm trying to avoid spoilers so hard on it.
Honestly, I'm hoping at this point with how Dragon Quest is getting so much love on Nintendo, I'm waiting to see if because I know the first 3 games got a port to the Switch. I'm hoping to do the rest like with 4, 5, 6. We're still waiting on Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D to come out. But yeah, Dragon Quest Monsters though looks really good. I liked what I saw.
Right. Yeah, it looks good. I can't wait to try it when it comes out. Definitely can't wait for that. Next up, though, Silent Hope, which is one I was not expecting to see this direct.
No, so this just came out of nowhere. It was just in the middle of like a couple of announcements when I saw it. It's like, this looks like anime Hades or like a little bit of Diablo. And what do you know? It looks like I know it's being published by Xseed. I don't know who's making it. They're publishing it, but it looks like their take on the roguelike dungeon crawler, because there's base building, there's loot, all this jazz. There's 4 different playable characters. I'm hoping they confirm co-op. I need to look at the info,
right?
But if not, still, I like the art style. I like the gameplay. It looks like a solid little RPG to play in between all the big titles.
Right. I'm curious about this title if it's only on Switch, which it looks like it is.
I think so, because even Trinity Trigger was another. I think it was a Vita or PSP game that was only Switch, and I think all these niche or JRPGs are becoming Switch only because they just do well. They sell.
Yeah, they do. This might be a game I want to get into or have on Switch constantly. I'm just curious what the story's going to be.
Oh yeah, the story. So as far as I know, the world has lost their way to talk. A princess is trapped in a crystal, I believe, and it's up to you to help her to get everybody's ability to speak again.
Interesting. How convenient not to be able to talk.
Right?
Yeah, but I mean, it looks good. Everything looks pretty solid. Looks fancy for a Switch game. And I always rank on Nintendo for being less graphical and everything. But for a Switch game, it looks great. It's not so pixelated. It's none of that 3DS shit that we used to see back when it was out. And granted, there's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes it's just you get sick of it after a little while. But that's just my opinion.
You're complaining about hardware that's purposely weak, and you can't really do that.
Yeah, I can't do that with this game because it looks just purposely good. Like, from the start to finish, it looks great. Cutscenes look fantastic. Gameplay looks smooth. I can't complain about frame rate or anything like that. So, and I'm not even that much of a goober about it, but it just works here. It looks this game just fits.
Right. I can see this game being like a legit hidden gem.
Yeah, really though, and everything's simple, and I can't wait to try it. Next one's speaking of a graphical game, Batman Arkham Trilogy coming out.
Yes.
I have a few questions about this game because
hit me, because I got some news tidbits that I got for you.
So how's this gonna work? I know how the downgrade of this gonna work because I know it's from like 360 to now?
Let's address this. So this game has been in the rumor to be coming to Switch since 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Since one of the earliest like rumors for Switch to have this game, right?
Right.
Now, what was the concern was that WB said that this was an impossible feat. They couldn't do it. We don't know what happened between 2018 to now. What I do learn is that the team who ported Borderlands 2, Borderlands 1, and Borderlands the pre-sequel for Switch are working on this.
Right.
So.
The pre-sequel? Nice. Yeah, that's good.
So those 3 games got ported to Switch, and they all ran pretty well. They were all good. They're all good ports.
Yeah.
So I have confidence in the team.
I'm looking at gameplay of it now. It's looking like it did back then.
I'm not. Nobody was concerned about Arkham City or Arkham Asylum coming to Switch because those were again PS360 games. It was just Arkham Knight. But I think whatever that team did, if they found a way to get Arkham Knight running on Switch as good as Asylum and City, I think that's what made WB say, "All right, you guys got the keys. We'll greenlight this project."
Yeah. Okay, I'm kind of seeing it in some places, but for the most part, it looks really solid. It does a good job of like blending itself well in with graphics. Things are a little bit more stagnant, I guess, a little slower, but I mean, for the most part, it looks pretty solid. The texture quality is definitely gone as far as like the heavy rain and like off the suit and all that. But for the most part, it looks good.
The team is aiming to like keep these games locked at 30 FPS, so that way there's no dips. The gameplay still flows and all that. So
yeah, I think that's the only exception is with like games like this is things like that. This works here compared to like.
This is gonna be one of those games where like for some people it was like Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I think that's the 4th one. When they played it on Switch, it was like, yo, this is nuts. I'm playing Black Flag on the go. It's gonna be another one of those games like, yo, I'm playing Arkham City on the go, natively.
Yeah, the only thing I can say about Black Flag is that like I can't believe I'm not surprised that game ran, but it also wasn't the best looking either, in my opinion. But even like when it came out and it was new, it looked good. Don't get me wrong, but those character models would just fuck me up because they're so dark and like jaunty looking. It's weird. And that makes sense, but that's maybe me nitpicking. But yeah, this is looking great. Even the Arkham Knight parts, it was just like, okay, I see you. It looks glossy, shiny.
Because remember, even at launch, Arkham Knight was like a struggle for PS4 and Xbox One. It wasn't until they got a couple patches in, the game was fine.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that whatever the Borderlands 2 porting team did got this to work, kudos. It's getting a physical. I saw that it was confirmed. Only nitpick about that physical is that only Arkham City is on the cartridge. Not City, Asylum. The other 2, there's no code in the box download, but you put the cartridge in, it'll prompt you to download City and Asylum. Or City and Night, my bad.
Yeah, the downloads are locked to the cartridge.
Yeah, which is good because at least you don't have to have a code in the box to redeem it. So if you buy the game used, you pop it in the Switch, you just got to download them.
I wonder, like, once you do the download and delete it, and then you keep the cartridge out, and you want another one in, will you need that cartridge to play those 2 games?
No, I never thought about that.
Yeah, just something weird and ticklish. I doubt you'd be playing something else if you're playing these games. But,
yeah,
it's just something weird because I don't know.
A lot of people are losing their mind though, like because these were ports that were being like demanded for since the beginning of the Switch, and now that they're finally coming this fall.
Yeah, I think once people saw like The Witcher being put on there, people were like, okay, so the Switch is doable. It just takes work.
And a lot of people who put in the work, like the people who did Nier Automata. Mm-hmm. They put in the work, and the game sold a lot. Witcher, like you said, Witcher sold a lot. I think, and this is gonna be good because Sony fans are gonna have Spider-Man 2 to play, and the Switch owners will have their own superhero trilogy to go through.
Right. I just hope they get some more. I would love to see more games on Switch because then it just entices other people to pick up the Switch.
Exactly.
Portability is gonna finally be valid again.
One I would love to see them do on a Switch. It would be like a Just Cause collection.
Yeah, that'd be sick. Oh wait, damn! I don't know about that one. Don't get me wrong. That sounds great on paper, but when you think about what Just Cause like does as a game, That might be pushing it a bit because you gotta remember, like, everything in that game was damn near indestructible.
Oh, I know. Even if it's just like, let's say they do the first 2 games as a test run, and then they find another team to port 3 and 4. There is 4, right? I'm not tripping.
There's 4 now. Yeah.
I can see them doing like 2 at a time. That way they don't overwork that team.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you get the right team to do it, I think any port is possible.
Yeah, I just like, damn, that's a tall order because that's like asking to port like Battlefield. Like 4 in particular, not like 5 or 6, even though those would have the same thing. But 4 would be like that because with 4 it was like, okay, everything in the game, or everything that matters in the game is destructible. So like, and so much environment changes happen. Oh yeah, that'd be a tall order. I'm not gonna say impossible though.
I got one more since we're talking about like ports coming. I would love, just this is gonna sound random, but I would love if this, not even Far Cry 3, but Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, the side like DLC expansion you could get for it that was like all 80s retro and neon and shit. If that alone could come to Switch, I would be fucking happy.
I think they could do it because for that game it was mostly just color and texture. That was the main like hardline for it. They can probably work that.
I mean, if they do both in the bundle, like Far Cry 3 plus Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, cool. But I just want Blood Dragon on Switch.
I would love a remaster or remake of Tales of Berseria into like Tales of Arise engine. That'd be great. Just put it on everything. I think Tales of Arise could run on Switch too. No problem.
I think so. Bandai Namco used to make this big complaint, like, oh, like when Jump Force was announced, like, can this go on Switch? No, we can't. Blah blah blah. Like a year later, it was on Switch. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Year later, it was on Switch. Yeah, like
Namco's weird when it comes to certain things like that. I even talked to like some of their staff back at old events, and it was just like, yeah, we don't know what's going on up there and with the team. It's weird.
Like, watch, One Piece Odyssey didn't come to Switch. I guarantee it'll be on Switch by next year.
Oh, I'm sure. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. Just like how they take forever to put the Sky games on there, and it's like, this is easily made for this console. You can make this.
The Sky 7 is gonna be a launch title for Switch.
Yeah, so, finally. After 7 games, we finally get the launch.
Oh no, not even that. 7, 6 was exclusive to Switch for the longest time.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, I missed that then.
Yeah, I got it. I got it at a retro store for pretty cheap.
Bet. Where's my copy?
Look for one.
You're such a hoe. But all right, that's enough about Batman and ports and remakes. Let's talk about Gloomhaven.
Gloomhaven is an interesting one. I want to give it a shout out because my roommate said he's played the board game of it, and overall he said it's a really good time. And judging from the look of it, it looks fun. It looks interesting if they're taking all the aspects from the board game, just transitioning it to 3D. I could see it being fun, especially if they. I mean, I don't know if they're confirming it's gonna have multiplayer, but if you're basing something off a board game that's, you know, multiplayer in general, I would assume you would make it at least co-op or something.
Right. And this is the friend that didn't like Final Fantasy 13, right?
No, different friend.
Okay, good. I don't want to shout him out.
All good.
Huh?
I said all good.
Oh, I thought you said he was dead. I was like, oh, I feel so bad.
No.
Yeah, from the gameplay that I'm seeing, though, it looks good. I mean, it looks interesting. I've never played a game like this before. Yeah, I definitely would try it. I don't know about getting it. I'm not too crazy about tactical RPGs, but I mean, I'm always willing to try a game. So we'll see.
Yes.
But last game on the list, and this list is pretty far. They're not pretty. What would you call it? It's pretty deep in.
Diverse, I would say too.
That too, yeah. Penny's Big Breakaway.
Ooh, yes. I was excited to talk about this one. I almost forgot to bring it up to us until we went through the direct again. So this one is a 3D platformer, looking like it's in the old style of like the PS1 and 64 era, where it was like a mascot platformer, and it was their gimmick, like whether it be like Glover or Banjo-Kazooie, Croc, or of those days. But this is being done by the Sonic Mania team, because long story short here, Sonic Mania team was approached to do Sonic Superstars. Negotiations fell through there, so they're doing their own game, and this is the fruit of their efforts. It's Penny's Big Breakaway. Love the visual aesthetic. Like, her gimmick, it looks like it's gonna be a yo-yo, and just it looks colorful, it looks fast. I'm excited. Yeah,
it looks good. I mean, you know what this game reminds me of? If like Fall Guys was like a professional platformer. That's what the art style reminds me of.
I can see that because it's like heavily like circus / like neon color.
Yeah, and it's just the amount of color is great. It's great to see. The platforming looks fun too.
Oh yeah.
And I love, wow, okay, writing on walls, that's sick.
Right?
I must have fell asleep while watching the direct because I missed this game because I didn't even see it.
Don't blame me. The direct was like super early in the morning.
It was, and I was like I was so tired from yesterday. But yeah, it looks good. I'd definitely try this. I'm not even the biggest platformer fan when it comes to certain games like these, but I would give it a shot. And I know I say that a lot, but this is Nintendo, so I'm not the biggest Nintendo guy either.
Oh, good. I think this one's multi-platform as well, but leave it to Nintendo to show off the platformers on their.
Yeah, it just makes the most sense. I still got to play Vagrant Story too, and I've been slacking on that. It's sitting on the PS5 right now, ready to go. But I bought it, so it's gonna get played.
Right.
That and Omega Strikers. Okay, well, that about wraps it up for us. This Nintendo one felt really short for some reason. Don't know why, but
kind of. It felt short, but that's because everything for them was rapid fire.
That's true too. They didn't waste any time with any big speeches. They were just talking about this is our game. This is what we want to do.
Here's what's coming out, and everybody. This was enough. It was short, sweet, to the point.
Yeah. They showed gameplay of everything too, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, no CGs, which is great. It's always great to see gameplay versus over CG.
Granted, yeah, because even the Princess Peach and the Luigi's Mansion 2 trailers that they showed, they were just in engine of what they're working on. Okay.
For as short as those games were, or the trailers were, yeah. Don't get me wrong, I love a good trailer, but it's nothing better than gameplay. Especially when they just throw some great music behind it and just show what they got.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. Well, that about wraps it up for us. We're going to go ahead and end the podcast here, talking about Nintendo's current directs. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And let us know what your favorite Nintendo games or Switch games were. And, I'll see you later.
Peace.
Peace.